Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we will get started on our back with our feet flat on the floor and knees pointing up to the sky. Once you arrive, draw your right knee into your chest, either holding onto your shin or behind your thigh. Circle your right ankle one direction, going slow, and then circle the opposite direction. Interlace your fingers behind your right leg and straighten your right leg up towards the ceiling. Allow your arms to straighten and push your thigh into your hand to stiffen your leg. Inhale, point your toes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, flex your foot. And then inhale, point your ankle. And then exhale, flex your foot. Inhale, point your ankle upwards. Pause. And then without moving your toes, start to turn your foot to face the inside. And then exhale, flex your foot. And then turn your toes to point outwards, but keep your knees stationary. And then exhale, point your toes up towards the ceiling. So go slow. Imagine you're drawing a diamond with your toes. Try to keep your knee from moving from left to right, and also try to keep your toes as soft as you can. So you're isolating the circle within the ankle joint within itself without letting your toes or your knee move. And then reverse that circular motion. So just drawing a diamond the opposite direction. Next time you flex your foot, pause. Exhale, rebend your right knee into your chest, and then set your right foot down to the floor. Other side, draw your left knee to your chest, and just circle your left ankle freely, and then circle the opposite direction. And then interlace your fingers behind your left thigh as you straighten your left leg up towards the ceiling. Inhale, point your toes up towards the sky, stretching through the top of your foot. Exhale, flex your foot, stretching through your Achilles heel. Inhale, point, and then exhale, flex. Inhale, point, and then moving from your ankle, turn your toes inwards, but try to keep your knee and your thigh bone neutral. And then flex your foot towards your face. Turn your foot out without letting your knee turn out, and then point your toes back up to the sky. And then go slow, drawing a diamond with your toes. And then circle the opposite direction. Again, going slow. Next time you flex your foot, pause. Rebend your left knee to your chest, and then set your left foot down. Adjust your feet to hips distance, hands down by your hips, arms straight, and palms down. Inhale, press into your hands and feet, lift your hips up for bridge pose. In your bridge, tilt your pelvis towards the back of your knees, and then press firmly into the entire sole of your feet. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips. And then once more, inhale, lift your hips up. Now as you hold, flex your feet and lift the fronts of your feet off the ground as you stay on your heels. With that flexion of your feet, feel your heels drag towards the direction of your shoulders and notice any extra tension in your hamstring and glutes. And then lower the fronts of your feet down, press firmly and evenly into all 4 corners of your feet. And exhale, lower your hips down. One more time, inhale, lift your hips up, bridge, and then start to lift your heels. As you lift your heels, think about pressing your shins forward and still feel the dragging action from the front of your mat to the back of your mat. For 3, 2, flatten your feet to the floor, push down as you lift your hips up a little higher, and exhale, lower your hips. Draw both knees into your chest, give yourself a gentle hug as you rock from left to right, and then either roll to one side or take a couple of rocks up and down, You'll make your way to tabletop pose, hands and knees. With your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, take some cat-cows, dropping your belly and letting your back arch on the inhale. Exhale, rounding through your back as you exhale. And just do it a couple more times, moving slow. For 3, 2, 1. Find a neutral spine. Tuck your toes, push into the pads of your fingers, and lift your knees an inch off the mat. So in your hovering table, feel your heels reach towards the back edge of your mat, and push into your arms. Feel your shoulder blades spread. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees softly to the floor. Step your right foot in between your hands at the front. Scoot your right foot back a couple of inches, so that way your knee is a little bit more forward than your ankle, maybe even in line with your toes. Flex your foot, lift your toes off the ground, and press into the big toe mound. And then feel your heel and the inner arch of your foot drag towards the back of your mat. Notice the tension in your hamstring and your Achilles tendon. Take one more inhale. Exhale, back out of your right knee, and then step your right foot back to meet your left. Tuck your toes, spread your fingers wide as you push into the floor with your hands. Lift your knees an inch off the mat. Take another inhale. As you exhale, draw your lower belly in, start to lift your tail, and then lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Reach your heels towards the back edge of your mat. And then as you inhale, keep the resistance of your heels as you start to lower your knees down to hovering table. Exhale, lead with your hips as you send your hips back to down dog, heels press back. Inhale, lower your knees, hovering table, but keep the tension in your heels. Exhale, hips back to down dog. Take a big bend in your right knee, straighten your left leg, and press your left heel as close to the floor as you can. And feel the big toe mound of your left foot press firmly down, maybe even lift your toes. And then switch, big bend in your left knee, right leg straight. And then soft bend in both knees, and lower your knees to the floor, back to table. Step your left foot in between your hands. Pat up your right knee if you need to. Scoot your left heel back a couple of inches and allow your left knee to go forward past your ankle, maybe in line with your toes. Hands can be on blocks. So press firmly through the entire sole of your left foot. Lift your left toes off the ground, and as you anchor into the big toe mound, feel the inner arch press down and feel your entire foot slide back. Notice the tension in your leg and where you're feeling the tension. And then soften. Scoot your left foot forward a couple of inches. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, look forward. And then step right up into your first standing forward fold. Take a big bend in your knees, grab opposite elbows, and let your head hang. And as you're here, notice where the weight is in your feet. Is it all in your heels? If it is, see if you can shift more of the weight into the balls of your feet and try to feel like your hips are stacking above the middles of your feet. Release your hands to the floor. Inhale, hands to your shins as you lengthen your spine. Again, shift the weight into the balls of your feet. Maybe even feel your chest move past the edge of your mat. And then exhale, fold towards the front edge. Press through your feet evenly, rise up, upward salute. Exhale, right arm down, left arm up and over, side stretch. And as you lean to the right, press to the outer edge of your left foot. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side stretch other side, pressing even more into the outer edge of your right foot. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, goalpost your arms like you're doing a pull-up. And as you lift your chest up high, maybe shift the weight into the balls of your feet and start to lift your heels. Reach your tailbone down towards your heels. Heels lower as you inhale, reach up. And exhale, hinge and fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. And exhale, fold. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Lower your right knee down. Rise up, low crescent lunge. Hands can be at hips or arms can reach up to the sky. And as you're here, press either into your back shin with your toes tucked or press the top of your foot down. And like we did in the first lunge, feel the inner arch of your front foot press down and drag back. Tilt your pelvis back and feel your back ribs lift. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Tuck your back toes, reach through your back heel as you straighten your back leg. And you can either keep your hands on the floor for runner's lunge or hands to your waist and hover above your front thigh for power lunge. Keep reaching through your back heel and feel the ball of your foot drag towards the back of your mat. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. And step back to downward facing dog. You can pass through tabletop or plank. Once in down dog, take a soft bend in your knees, reach your heels towards the floor, whether they touch or not, and then resist with your heels as you shift forward to plank pose. So heels are pressing back, and then exhale, hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank, but resist with your heels, and then exhale, hips back, down dog. One more time, shift forward to plank. Pause in your plank pose. Option to lower your knees first, bend your elbows, and lower all the way down. Press the tops of your feet into the floor, reach your tailbone back, inhale, peel your chest, cobra, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, cobra, look to the right. Exhale, bow. Keep pressing through your feet, inhale, cobra, look left. Exhale, bow. Hands by your ribs, tuck your toes, press up, table or plank. And exhale, pull your hips back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, best as you can, step your right foot in between your hands and lower your left knee down. Inhale, float your arms up, low crescent lunge. Anchor through your back heel or the top of your back foot. Spill your pelvis back, and as your hip bones rise up, feel your front heel drag back. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Tuck your back toes, reach through your back heel to straighten your back leg. And either hands stay on the floor, look forward slightly, or hands to your waist and hover above your front thigh. Exhale, hands to the floor, look up, and step up, standing forward fold. Sit back, reach up, chair pose, Utkatasana. In your chair pose, sit your hips back and try to guide your knees towards your ankles. And as you press evenly into the floor, feel your feet drag outwards like you're trying to rip your mat apart, but also feel your inner thighs hug like you're holding a block. Take one more inhale, back ribs lift away from your pelvis. Exhale, hands to the floor, straighten your legs and fold. Inhale halfway, weight in your toes. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Take a soft bend in your back knee. And as you spike your heel back, feel your front foot drag towards your back foot. Press down and rise up, high lunge, either hands on hips or arms reach up to the sky. And have your arms slightly in front of your cheeks so the back of your spine can grow tall. And as you press evenly through both feet, feel the scissor effect of your legs. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Walk your hands over to the left long edge and parallel your feet for wide-legged forward fold. Now take a soft bend in both knees and anchor into the outer edges of your feet. Hands can also be on blocks. And as you press down through the pinky edges, feel your inner thighs hug and lengthen your sitting bones back. Inhale, lift your chest up halfway, arms are straight. Pause. Notice if the weight is all in your heels. See if you can shift more of the weight into the balls of your feet, but anchor through the outer edges. And then keeping your flat back, right hand stays on the floor, left hand to your left waist, peel your chest to the left. When you twist, notice if one of your feet is trying to run away from the floor and press that foot firmly back down. And then work towards lengthening your spine away from your hips as you keep the weight in your toes. 2. Left hand down, right hand to right hip, and twist to the other side. Work towards lengthening and keeping the weight in your toes, but still anchoring through your heels and the pinky edges. Take one more inhale. And exhale, hands down to the floor, soften your spine and fold. Walk your hands to the front of your mat, step back to plank pose on the inhale, and then drop your right knee to the floor, spin your right foot off to the side. As you spin your left heel down, reach your left arm up for supported side plank. Press through the entire sole of your left foot and reach through the outer edge. Option to reach your left arm up and over to create a side stretch. Draw your right hip back and lift your left hip up towards the sky. Take another inhale. Exhale, pass through tabletop or plank, and then take supported side plank to the other side. Right foot back, left knee down. And again, press evenly through all four corners of your right foot. And think about reaching the outer edge towards the back edge of your mat. Right arm can reach up and over. And then plank pose or table on the inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Bend your knees, look forward. Best as you can, step your left foot in between your hands. Take a soft bend in your right knee. And as you anchor into the ball of your back foot, reach your heel back and feel the scissor action of your front leg. Press down from your legs, hands to your hips, and rise up. High lunge. Maybe arms reach up to the sky. And lift up through your back ribs to find that tallness in your spine. Feel the downward energy of your legs towards your feet, but feel the upward energy from the base of your spine up to the crown of your head. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Walk your hands to the right long edge of your mat. This time, turn your toes out and heels in. Keep your feet flat. And then you're going to bend into your right knee and shift your hips towards the right. So you're coming into a side lunge, but keep your feet flat and notice the range of motion that you have with your knees and your hips. Come back to center on the inhale. Exhale, side lunge towards your left leg, but again, keep your feet flat. Notice your range. Come back to center as you inhale. Exhale, go to the right, but this time, let your right heel lift off the floor, but keep your left foot flat on the floor. Notice any difference in the range of your motion. Right heel flat, come back to center. Exhale, side lunge to your left, but lift your left heel. See if maybe your hips can lower a little bit more. Left heel flat, back to center as you inhale. One more time, over to the right, but this time lift your right heel and then flex your left foot. Now notice the range that you have. Everything back to center, feet flat. Exhale to the left, lift your left heel and flex your right foot. Notice the range of motion now. Back to center as you inhale. And then exhale, fold. Walk your hands to the front of the room, look forward, and step up to the front, standing forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. Refold, exhale. Sit back, reach up, chair pose. As you sit your hips back, hug your inner thighs, and then shift the weight into the balls of your feet, and maybe start to lift your heels off the floor, standing on your toes. For 3, 2, heels down, stand all the way up as you inhale. And hands to your heart, exhale. Hands to your hips. Shift the weight into your right foot, and then pick your left knee up towards your chest for one-legged balance. So as you stand on your right heel, lightly flex your right foot by lifting your toes and anchor into the ball of your foot as your heel presses down as well. With your left leg, flex your left foot, and even though your left foot is in the air, try to find that dragging sensation just like you did in the very first lunge. So try to feel like your heel is going a little bit further towards your glute as you draw your left thigh closer to your chest. 3, 2, beautiful. Set your foot down. Shift the weight into your left foot, and then pick your right knee up any amount. Stand tall into your left foot, anchoring into the ball of your foot and your heel. And as you let your pelvis tilt back, flex your right foot a lot, and feel the dragging motion of your right foot in the air as you draw your right heel closer towards your glutes and your right thigh closer to your belly. And then set your foot down to the floor. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. Pause in your half lift. Take a soft bend in both knees. Shift the weight into your right foot, and then kick your left leg towards the back wall. Kick through your heel as your left toes point towards your knee. And try to use the kicking action of your heel to match the length of your spine with your leg. Stay here or draw your lower belly in, and maybe you take one hand off the floor. Maybe you take both hands off the floor, even just for a moment. Exhale, lower your hands. Take a big step of your left foot to the back of your mat and spin your left heel down. Scoot your right foot over to the side a little bit. Press through both heels as you rise up into Warrior One. Reach through the outer edge of your back foot like you did in supported side plank. And then also still feel the dragging action of your front foot. So use the dragging action of your front foot in order to pull your right hip back. And then the reach of your left heel will allow your left glute to engage, and maybe you get that sensation on your left front thigh. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands all the way to the floor. Lift your back heel and lower your back knee to the floor. Pull your hips back into half splits. Hands can be on the floor or hands can be on blocks. And you can have a soft bend in your right knee. Now flex your right foot a lot towards your face and feel your right heel slightly drag towards the front edge of your mat. As you keep that flex in your foot, turn your foot out towards the pinky edge and allow your knee and your hip bone to turn with it. So notice how the sensation changes. And then let your foot come back to center. Keep the flex of your foot. And then turn your foot inwards towards the big toe edge and allow your thigh bone to turn. Come back to center. Rebend into your front knee. Tuck your back toes, straighten your back leg, and spin your back heel down. Press through the big toe edge of your front foot, and then pull your hips back to straighten out your front leg. Hands can still stay on blocks. And you can either round your back or flatten your back into pyramid pose. Feel your big toe of your front foot press down and feel the entire foot drag towards the back edge. And see if you can stand tall into your back leg. Take one more inhale. Exhale, rebend into your right knee. And step back to plank pose. From plank, option 1, drop your right knee down. Option 2, drop your heels to the right, and then lift your left arm up for side plank or supported side plank. If you're in supported side plank with your knee down, you can either press through the entire sole of your left foot like you did the last time, or lift your left leg and flex your foot. Try to feel like the pinky edge is peeling towards you as you reach through your heel. If you're in side plank with your feet staggered or stacked, flex your feet and reach your toes towards your face as your heels drive back. On your next inhale, pass through tabletop or plank. Exhale, side plank or supported side plank to the other side. And if you're taking supported side plank, you can either keep your right foot down or lift your right foot. Take one more inhale. Exhale, plank pose or table on the breath in. And exhale, pull your hips back, downward facing dog. From down dog, take a couple of breaths to pedal out your legs. And then bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or lightly hop to the front. Halfway on the top inhale. Keep your half lift. Take a soft bend in your knees, shift the weight into your left foot, and then kick your right leg towards the back wall for standing splits. Flex your right foot, and as you reach through your heel, find the length in your leg to match the length of your back body. Keep anchoring into your standing foot, particularly the big arch in your heel. And then you can either stay with your hands down, maybe take one hand off the floor, or lift your hands off the ground and maybe lift your chest higher into Warrior 3. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Take a big step of your right foot to the back and spin your right heel down. Press through both heels, rise up, Warrior 1. And then again, feel the energy of your legs draw down towards your feet. And then also feel this upward energy from the base of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. Take another inhale. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Spin your back heel up and lower your back knee down. Pull your hips back into half splits. You'll flex your left foot and hands can be on blocks. Soft bending your left knee if you need it. And as you peel the pinky edge of your left foot towards your face, feel the inner arch and your heel press forward. Keep your foot flexed and then turn your foot out. Allow the rest of your leg to turn with it as you roll to the pinky edge. Notice the difference of sensation, particularly in your hamstrings and your inner leg. Come back to center. And then turn your foot in, getting your foot to the big toe edge, and allow your thigh bone to internally rotate. And come back to center. Rebend into your front knee. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. Spin your back heel down, press into your heel, and then reach your hips back to straighten out your front leg. Stand into your back leg. Back leg is also supporting you in the standing pose. Rebend into your left knee as you inhale. Hands to the mat, step back to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a big bend in your right knee and straighten your left leg towards the floor, reaching your left heel down. Lift your right leg towards the back wall and have your leg parallel to the floor. Push evenly into your hands and try to find as much length to the heel of your right foot. Take one more inhale. Exhale, knee to your chest, shoulders over your wrist. Best as you can, step that foot in between your hands. Back heel spins down and cartwheel up into Warrior 2. Press to the back edge of your back foot, and then feel your right heel pull back as your right hip draws back and firms. Spine is tall, reach out to your fingertips. Now press firmly into the big toe edge of your front foot. Straighten your front leg, and as you do, start to pull your right hip back. Feel the energy from your right inner arch all the way to your right leg go back. Start to hinge from your right waist. Reach as far forward as you can as you inhale. Exhale, right hand to your shin, block, or the floor, and your left arm up for triangle pose. And in your triangle, notice if all the weight is in your front foot. See if you can get more weight into your back leg, and then find that scissor action of your legs. Take one more inhale. Stand up, and then step up to the front. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Take a soft or big bend in your right knee, and then kick your left leg back into standing splits. But this time, reach your toes towards the back wall. So you're lengthening through the front of your leg. And as you find that length, imagine that your foot is pressing into an imaginary ledge. And as you press the top of your foot downwards as you reach your toes back, match the length of your leg to your spine. And then maybe roll your shoulders back, and as you draw your belly in, see if the reach of your back toes can help you lift your chest higher. And maybe you take your hands off the floor for Warrior 3. For 3, 2, hands down, and lower your left foot down to meet your right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, step back to plank pose on the inhale. And then exhale, lower all the way down to your belly and your chest. From here, press the tops of your feet down into the floor, just like you did in that standing splits variation. Reach your arms towards the back wall with your palms facing up. Roll your shoulders back, and as you press into the tops of your feet, lift your spine and lift your heart forward. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Soften everything as you lower your chest down. Take a breath in and out. Reestablish the pressing of your feet down into the floor. Reach your toes and then roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest up. Option to keep your feet down or reach your toes so far back that they just make your feet lift off the ground. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you interlace your fingers behind your back and straighten your arms even more. For 3, 2, let go of the bind and soften everything down. Hands by your ribs, tuck your toes. Press up to tabletop pose on the inhale. And then exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Feel free to take a rest in child's pose before we go into the second round, or hit the pause button if you need to. But when you're ready, from down dog, take a big bend in your left knee and straighten your right leg towards the floor. Heel presses down as your tailbone lifts, and then kick your left leg towards the back wall. Reach through your heel, and as you push into your hands, try to find as much length from the pinky edges of your hands all the way to the pinky edge of your back foot. Exhale, draw your left knee towards your chest, round your back, shoulders over wrist. Best as you can, step your left foot through. Right heel spins down, stand up, and cartwheel up into Warrior 2. Stand tall into your back leg, reach through the outer arch, and then feel the dragging action of your front foot to firm your left hip back. Take more weight into the inner arch of your front foot. Straighten your front leg. Keep pulling your left hip back, and then lean forward. Exhale, left hand to the floor, shin or a block, right arm up, triangle. Keep standing into your back leg and feel the scissor action of your legs. Take one more inhale. Exhale, press through your feet, use your core and stand up. Hands to your hips and step up to the front. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, dive down, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Soft bend in your left knee, stand tall into your left foot, and then kick your right leg towards the back wall for standing splits. This time, point your right toes back, and just like in locust pose on our belly, press the top of your right foot downwards as you reach through your toes. Maybe your hands stay down. Maybe you lift your hands off the floor. Warrior 3. 3, 2, 1. Hands down and lower your right foot down. Forward fold. Beautiful job, everyone. Halfway lift on the inhale. Fold, exhale. Hands to the mat. Step back to plank pose one more time. And then exhale either down dog, or if you have a vinyasa in your practice, feel free to take that here. Once you're in down dog, pause, maybe take a child's pose. Make your way to tabletop pose. Bring your knees together and your feet together, and then tuck all 10 toes across the floor, including your pinky toes. From here, you'll sit back onto your heels, and your hands can stay forward with your upper body leaning forward. Hands can walk closer towards your knees, or hands on your thighs and sit up in a toe stretch. Try to soften through your leg muscles and let your hips be heavy into your heels so you get that stretch through the soles of your feet. Take deep breaths. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands in front of you. Untuck your toes and tap the tops of your feet into the floor. Have your shins and feet about hips distance apart with the tops of your feet down. And then walk your hands towards your knees and stand up on your shins. Hands behind your glutes with your fingertips facing down like you're putting your hands in your back pockets. Start by anchoring into the tops of your feet down and feel your entire shin lengthen. And then as you press your hips forward, roll your shoulders back. And then away from your pelvis and your shins, lift your spine up towards the sky. You can either keep your hands on your glutes or take your hands either to blocks or to your heels for traditional camel. Wherever you are, tuck your chin, engage your core, hands to your hips, and stand up. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Shift onto your hips, swing your legs around to the front. Option 1, legs together with a soft bend in your knees, flex your feet, or take your legs out to a wide V, a straddle position. Whichever one you choose, inhale, reach your both arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands forward, and then start to walk yourself forward into a forward fold. So either seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana, or wide angle forward fold, Upavista Konasana. You can let your spine be tall, or you can let your back round. Start to walk your hands up towards you on your inhale. Exhale, extend your legs long if your legs are in the V. Give your legs a little shimmy and shake. And then make your way down onto your back. And then from your back, draw your knees into your chest. Take your arms out to a T and let your legs fall off to the right for reclining twist. You can also do a variation with just your right leg and your left leg straight. Next inhale, come back to center. And exhale, switch your twist to the other side. Come back to center on the inhale. And then exhale. Give yourself one last final hug. If there's any other finishing poses you would like to take, like happy baby, bridge pose, or even an inversion like waterfall, feel free to go there. Otherwise, we will make our way to our final pose of ease and stillness. So traditional Shavasana is legs extended out, feet a bit wider than your hips, arms by your sides and palms up. But I invite you to take any position with your legs and arms and use any props that you have available to support you. Once you've found your shape, allow your breath to become effortless. Give yourself the permission to enjoy rest. And as always, if you would like to stay in Shavasana a little bit longer, I invite you to hit the pause button or just let the video finish out and stay as long as you need. Invite a deeper breath back in if you're ready. And then bring some movement starting at your fingers and your toes, and just letting the movement expand throughout the rest. Draw your knees into your chest, roll to one side or the other, and press yourself up to find a seat. Once in your seat, draw your hands at your heart center. Bow your head down towards yourself, acknowledging your effort, your energy, giving yourself gratitude for showing up for yourself today. Thank you so much for sharing your practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit the bell for notifications so that way you know when free yoga is up. And if there's anybody that you know that could use some more yoga in their life, please share my channel and this video. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.